This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and today we have a news update. We just got a big Stadia community blog post and we're going to be taking a look at all the things that just got announced. We'll be talking about the August Stadia Pro games for all Stadia Pro subscribers, the PUBG Season 8 update coming July 30th with a nice little bonus, a brand new feature available through Stadia Experiments, but before all that, we're going to be talking about a brand new game on the store right now. That's right, the critically acclaimed indie game Celeste is available on the store right now, and what you're seeing is gameplay from the Stadia version. This title comes in priced at $19.99 US, and I have to say it's a fantastic game. Seriously, if you're into platformers whatsoever and you haven't played Celeste, be sure to do so. It's a fantastic game and there's a reason it's so critically acclaimed. The game is currently sitting at a 92 on Metacritic and has an average time to beat of about 6 to 8 hours, but there is a lot of post-game content that can easily take you over 20 hours to beat. Now, to give you my take on the game itself, it's super fun but challenging. That said, it's extremely rewarding when you do beat a challenge that you're facing. I think the one key thing that really does make this game shine as brightly as it does is that it's very much so a video game through and through. The game mechanics quickly become second nature, and as you adapt and learn how to use them, you're gonna start seeing things you used to see as a challenge as easy. It does a really fantastic job of making you feel like a better player while also not taking it easy on you. It's a really big change of pace compared to most games made these days, and I think that's what really makes it stand out. And if you're wondering why this doesn't apply for many other indie games out there, well, simply put, this game was expertly crafted on all fronts, be it visual design, audio design, gameplay, level design, or difficulty. Not to mention a fantastic story to boot. It's the perfect example of just how beautiful simplicity can be. But now let's focus about how it plays on Stadia, and I'm happy to report that it does so amazingly. This is certainly the type of game that could easily be ruined by too much latency, but gladly that's not the case here. In fact, it feels pretty much like playing it on my PlayStation 4 or any other device locally. As much as I'd like to say that the latency was the reason I was dying in the background gameplay you're watching right now, no, that was just my lack of skill. One thing to note here is that the game apparently does not support HDR when playing on the Chromecast Ultra. 4K is lit up, but HDR says it is unsupported by the game along with 5.1 surround sound. They may or may not end up supporting these features later down the road and patch it in, but frankly speaking, it's not going to be a deal breaker for this type of game. If you'd like a more in-depth video on Celeste and my thoughts about the game, do let me know in the comments section below, but it's time we move on to the next bit of news, and that's the August Pro games. Beginning on the 1st, we're going to be able to claim 4 more games to our Stadia library. Not only that, but on the 14th, we'll also be getting the addition of 1 more. So let's take a look at the games we're gonna get. First on the list is a rhythm game called Just Shapes and Beats. This title is a very unique take on the shoot 'em up genre, and let me just say it has a fantastic soundtrack. And making sure you can get into the rhythm of that soundtrack is really gonna help you survive here. The attacks will be on beat, and you can use that to your advantage to avoid them. A standout feature worth noting here is that you can play this game with up to 3 other friends, be it local or online. This is a seriously fun game and I highly recommend you check it out on the 1st. But next up is Strange Brigade. This third-person cooperative-based shooter is coming from our friends at Rebellion, and you can pretty much guess that it'll play much like Zombie Army. That being said, it does have a very different setting and there are some puzzle-like elements as well as Indiana Jones style set pieces. It's much more of a lighthearted experience while having some very British humor involved, and I have to say they did a fantastic job incorporating it. You'll be blasting your way through enemies and bosses while overcoming obstacles and solving puzzles. You'll be able to upgrade your gear and weapons while also selecting from a cast of 4 different characters. As you can imagine, there will be tons of collectibles and treasures to find, so be sure to check this one out, especially if you have buddies to play with. Now let's talk the third game, Kona. This adventure is set in a snowbound Canadian village and there are some very strange things happening. You'll be put through very challenging situations and it'll be up to you to solve this mystery. To do so, you'll be following clue after clue in a snowy, abandoned northern retreat in the midst of a deadly blizzard. Now, truth be told, I actually haven't played this title yet, but from what I've been told, it has a very interesting story. Said story is probably its biggest strength as well. And watching the trailer definitely gives off a bit of a spooky mystery vibe, so if you're into that type of thing, be sure to check this one out. The next title is also available on the 1st, and that's Metro 2033 Redux. This is that story-driven, first-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic Moscow. This is actually a prequel to Exodus, which we did get as a Stadia Pro game before, so if you were into that game, certainly check this one out. The Redux version of the game has a ton of improvements and graphical enhancements compared to the original release. One thing I will note about this though is that the game is certainly much more linear than Exodus. That game had a bit of an open world exploration type vibe, this one is pretty much straight and narrow. But now it's time we talk about the game we'll be getting later in the middle of the month. On the 14th, Rock of Ages 3 will be able to be claimed by Stadia Pro users. This will be launching on Stadia the same day it becomes a pro game, so that's always a nice surprise. The best way I can describe this one to you is Super Monkey Ball meets Tower Defense. The game features both local and online multiplayer, as well as a custom level editor so you can build and then share your own custom courses. I should also mention the game has a variety of different game modes and challenges for you to take on, and better yet, people can actually create their own. It being a Stadia Pro title was definitely a great choice, and I can't wait to check this one out. But before we move on from the Stadia Pro titles, I do need to put a reminder that you need to claim Zombie Army 4 Dead War before August 1st because it will be leaving then. And just for clarification, as long as you claim the game, you will be able to continue playing it even if it stops being a Stadia Pro subscription offer. Now with that out of the way, let's quickly go over some PUBG news. Starting July 30th, Season 8 will be launching and be available on Stadia. But Stadia Pro subscribers also get a nice bonus. You see, the Season 8 Survival Pass will be available for free for all Stadia Pro subscribers. The new season will include new loot trucks, improved jerry cans, a massively updated Sandhook map, and much more. And as a quick reminder here, be sure to spend all your Cold Front coupons before Season 8 goes live because you will lose them. And now let's move on to the last bit of news here, and this one's quite big because it's a feature many have been waiting for. If you go to your Stadia Experiments tab, you can now opt into cellular play by activating Use Mobile Data. So if you're one of the lucky few out there without any sort of data restriction or throttling issues, you can absolutely play Stadia wherever you are now. This is a feature that many have been waiting for, and I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see. For certain users, this absolutely gives you the freedom to play Stadia anywhere you go, and that's the dream scenario. Currently, this feature allows you to play through 4G and 5G connections, so be sure to check it out and let me know how it goes. Sadly, as much as I'd like to give you my personal impressions on how games run through mobile data, I don't have a good enough data plan that'll allow me to do this without paying some serious fees. And I know I'm not the only one out there that this won't be too much of a big deal for, but it is a pretty big one for those who it does affect. On a side note, it's cool to see that Google is really using that Experiments tab, and I can't wait to see what else they add there next. I'm still banking on them adding live stream support directly from the Stadia server blade, but we'll see. Do let me know what you think will be coming next. Either way, that summarizes all the news I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Today's end of video message is going to be a quick survey to see what Stadia Pro title you're looking forward to most. Funny enough, the one I think I'll be playing most out of all 5 games coming to Stadia Pro this month is probably just Shapes and Beats. The more I see about the game, the more I'm interested in playing it. I actually didn't pick this one up when it launched on Stadia, and I'm really happy I get to play it now. It really did fly under my radar, and it seems exactly like the type of game I want to dive into and play. Do let me know which one you're looking forward to most. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to join our community Discord. I'll be linking it in the description and the pinned comment of this video. I really do want to encourage more discussion happening, not just in the comment section of my videos, but the Discord community as well. The last video I posted based around all the games coming to Stadia this fall is actually proving to be a great discussion point, and I'm happy to see you all participating. I've seen a lot of familiar names comment there and some new ones too, and I'm happy to see that. As always, thank you for watching. This has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related. The Gen S community is over 4,700 strong and growing by the day, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.